Oh, hello guys. Long time no see. How are you guys doing?
Fine.
I'm fine
Hi.
too.
Oh, good to hear. Remember that our last promise that we are going to talk an interesting topic, which is conics. Before that, I want to talk a little bit about conics. Conics is the intersection of a plane and a cone by changing the angle and location of intersection. From that, we can produce a circle, ellipses, parabola, or hyperbola. Each type of conic has its own specific characteristics and elements. First example, I would like to talk a bit about circle specifically. Circle are a round plane figure which is consists of points equidistant to a center. Real life example, which is they can literally can be found anywhere like pizzas, button on our shirt, and tires. Fun facts about tires. You know that the invention of the tires will remain one of the most important invention in of all time. This circle made possible for people to move and move things at great distance and at faster speeds. This is still evident in vroom vroom transportation industry where they appear in vehicle tires, roundabout in roads and road design. Whew. So for ellipses or ellipses and parabola, any one of you guys have anything to share with us?
Thank you, Taki. I'm going to share about hyperbola. A hyperbola is the mathematical shape that you obtain when vertically cutting a double cone. Many people learn about this shape during their algebra courses in high school or college, but it is not obvious why this shape is important. The hyperbola has a few properties that allow it to play an important role in the real world. Many fields use hyperbolas in their design and predictions of phenomena. For example, satellites. Satellite systems make heavy use of hyperbolas and hyperbolic function. When scientists launch a satellite into space, they must first use mathematical equations to predict its path. Because of the gravity influences of objects with heavy mass, the path of the satellite is skewed even though it may initially launch in a straight path. Using hyperbolas, astronomers can predict the path of the satellite to make adjustments so that the satellite gets to its destination. Besides that, radio system signals employ hyperbolic functions too. One important radio system, LORAN, identifies geographic position using hyperbolas. Scientists and engineers establish radio stations in position according to the shape of a hyperbola in order to optimize the area covered by the signal from a station. LORAN allows people to locate objects over a wide area and play an important role in World War II. And do you guys have anything about eclipse or parabola to share?
Well, Jimmy, I have one to share about ellipse, which in my case, I would share about the application of ellipse in medical science, which is about lithography. So as an introduction, in mathematics, an ellipse is a plane curve surrounding two focal points, such that for all points on the curve, the sum of the two distances to the focal points is a constant. As such, it generalizes a circle, which is the special type of ellipse in which the two focal points are the same. The ellipse is a very special and practical conic section. One important property of the ellipse is its reflective property. If you think of an ellipse as being made from a reflective material, then a light ray emitted from one focus will reflect off the ellipse and pass through the second focus. This is also true not only for light rays but also for other forms of energy, including shockwaves. Shockwaves generated at one focus will reflect off the ellipse and pass through the second focus. These characteristics unique to the ellipse has inspired a useful medical application. Medical specialists have used the ellipse to create a device that effectively treats kidney stones and gallstones. A lithotripsy uses shockwaves to successfully shatter a painful kidney stone or gallstone into tiny pieces that can be easily passed by the body, usually through urination. This process is known as lithotripsy. The extracorporeal shortwave lithotripsy, or in the short form is ESWL, enables doctors to treat kidney and gallstones without open surgery. By using this alternative, risks associated with surgery are significantly reduced. There is a smaller possibility of infections and less recovery time is required than for a surgical procedure. The lithotripter is the instrument used in lithotripsy. The mathematical properties of an ellipse provide the basis for this medical invention. So the lithotripter machine has a half ellipsoid-shaped piece that rests opening on the fashion sides. An ellipsoid is a three-dimensional representation of an ellipse. In order for the lithotripter to work using the reflective property of the ellipse, the patient's stone must be at one focus point of the ellipsoid and the shockwave generator at the other focus. So the patient is laid on the table and moved into position next to the lithotripter. Doctors use a fluoroscopy X-ray system to maintain a visual of the stone. This allows for accurate positioning of the stone as a focus. Because the stone is acting as one of the focus points, it is imperative that the stone be at precisely at the right distance from the focus located on the lithotripter. This is essential in order for the shock waves to be directed into the stone. So this process of lithotripsy takes about an hour. The patient can usually return home the same day and is not subjected to a lengthy recovery that is frequently required after surgery. Lithotripsy is virtually painless, so vibration and noise of the shocks can be uncomfortable, and so many patients require minimal anesthesia. So for these reasons, lithotripsy is becoming a popular treatment for many patients. So what about you, Dina? Did you have anything to share with us?
Yes, I would like to share about conic in architecture. So conic section is really much important in the field of architecture. They use this for their designs, planning and also for constructing buildings. Without the conic sections, there will be no different designs of building constructed that we see now. We see them every day because they appear everywhere in the world. It can help us in many ways. For example, bridges and buildings use conics as a support system. Here, I would like to go deeper into each of the sections of conic in architecture perspective. First is parabola. It is the curve form from all the points x, y that are equidistant from the directrix and the focus. One example of parabola in architecture is the Eiffel Tower. It is known to be in the form of parabola. The parabola is really an important structure in the tower. It is built and designed that way to support the wind, and also it could be more stable. Second is the circle. It is the set of all points in the plane that are at a given distance from a given point. Nowadays, the circle is not usually employed at the time of designing the majority of all buildings, due to the fact that the use of circular structure makes it harder for the structure to be furnished and results more complicated in plans with perpendicular partition. But in reality, the use of the circle as much in two dimensions as in three dimensions with the sphere results the most efficient figure of all. Third is ellipse. Ellipse is a curve in a plane surrounding two focal points such that the sum of the distance to the two focal points is constant for every point on the curve. The examples where a structure of ellipse can be found are Whispering Galleries at United States Tertiary Capitol and St. Paul Cathedral, London. A person in the Whispering Gallery standing at one focus of the ellipse can whisper and be heard by a person standing at the other focus because all the sound waves that reach the ceiling are reflected to the other person. That are my findings about conics in architecture.
Whoa, what a splendid discussion we had just now. Phew, so our discussion just now had opened my mind, because who said that learning conics is a waste of time? Conics is being applied in our real life and being a good contribute a good benefits to people. So, do you guys have anything to share again, or any? No,
I
because
think that's all from me.
oh,
Me too.
how, how about you?
Anything? Yes,
Oh, I'm Yeah. Oh, I'm also done with my part. So I hope that we can have this kind of conversation in future later. So see you guys, Ayin, Gina and Jin. Bye, bye, bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.